Are we becoming a nation of wimps? Whoa. Hello, everybody. Donna Devane here, fearless leader, barefoot guru, lover of coffee, black, no sugar, no cream. Oh, man. Are we enjoying ourselves yet? Oh, no. Let me see. Only me, public. Here we go. Somehow or another, I was only broadcasting to myself. Come on, Facebook. I could do that just making a video on my computer. I wouldn't have to go live. But anyway, one day I'm going to get a better video camera and a better computer. Mine have been used up over thousands and thousands of hours of me talking. And you will notice, if you've been following my radio, video over the years, that I'm not talking as much as I used to. And I've been having a conversation with some friends questioning, is it just time to sit down, shut up, and enjoy my retirement years? You know, garden, clean my house, bake bread, start quilting again, do needlepoint, whatever. Got the house to myself, except for my critters that live here, and I think I'll run a critter sanctuary. My daughter keeps rescuing animals and bringing them to me because, well, I live out in the middle of nowhere and nobody cares, you know. Speaking of critters, the last big animal that she brought me is a part chow, part lab, beautiful black little dog. She had been mistreated, and my daughter adopted her, thinking that when she got her own apartment that she would have the dog. And I've called her Big Dog. I finally named her Raven because she's just as black as smut. I don't think she's got any white on her at all. But I ended up with Big Dog, Raven. And which is okay. I mean, Raven loves me, and she lets people know if anybody's in the yard or whatever. I mean, she stands up and looks out the window and barks at people. But I take her out. She's got to run outside. And because she's big, she really can't do a lot of running back and forth here in the house. So I take her out, put her on a run, and she jumps up and bites leaves off the tree and all sorts of stuff. Well, yesterday I went out there to feed her because I do like to feed her outside so she can do her pooping, her mountain-sized pooping outside. And as I was walking up there to give her her food, something wiggled in the grass, and I immediately stopped. And there was a great big O, and I mean a great big O, white snake. One of the biggest white snakes I think I've ever seen. And I just stood there and I said, okay, Mr. Snake, they're not poisonous, and they don't really chase you down to bite you. But if you scare them a lot, you know, most animals will bite in self-defense. So I just stood there and said, you know, it's okay, you go your way, I'll go mine. And I kind of walked around the snake and got the dog and brought her in and fed her inside. But anyway, interesting times we live in. That snake announced itself, you know, and I guess this is a good lead in, you know. That snake was not venomous. It kind of startles you, you know, when you're walking in your yard and there's a snake. But it announced itself. It announced its presence. Here I am. Please don't step on me. You know, I don't want to get the tangle-dangle with you. Well, those kind of snakes we can deal with. But the kind of snakes that we're dealing with right now, bureaucratically, administratively, politically, those are different kind of snakes. They're like that snake in that song of the pretty woman who's out walking. She sees a half-frozen snake. She takes it in, she gives it milk and honey, it revives, she picks it up to hug it, and the thing bites her. And she's like, whoa, snake, you know, you would have surely died. And why, you know, you're biting me, now I'm going to die. Why? And the snake says, because I'm a snake. Song came out when I was young. Very good song, though. Today's snakes, and I'm talking about human snakes, corporate snakes, bureaucratic snakes, political snakes. They come in all sizes, all colors, all political, religious, politically correct manner. And they're always telling us the same thing. I'm here to help you. I'm here to make it okay. I want to protect your rights. I want to guarantee that people don't take advantage of you, that people don't use you. And the sad thing about it is we buy into it. I said, and I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all again. I guess I need to make a public disclaimer at the beginning of my videos. If you're easily offended, go away, because there's a very good chance that I'm going to say something that you're going to whine and cry about. And if you complain to me, I'm going to say, grow up. We're not babies. We're grown-ups. After you're 3 or 4 years old, you should be able to take somebody saying something that you don't like without you coming apart at the seams and pitching a hissy fit. I'm seeing a lot of adults today acting sillier than my children and grandson ever acted when they were little. So if you're easily offended, you may want to leave now, because I don't try to be politically correct. What I do try to do is to speak some common sense, maybe, to say some things in such a way that it gets us all thinking. And your brain, like any other muscle, if you don't use it to think logically, reasonably, with some intuitive empathy thrown in there, then, it atrophies. And you're just brainwashed from that point on. You're entrained. You're brain trained, as I like to call it. You're like Pavlov's dog. Bell rings, you salivate. You fall for it regardless. And I see so much of that today that I am actually incredulous at the grown-ups who jump on the Trump train or the Hillary train or the Bernie train, or now, my God, they're jumping on the train of self-declaring communists and Marxists. That's what we need in this country. It's amazing to me. I'll be 63 in January, and I had hoped to never see this day, to be honest with you. I went through the hippies and the flower children and the Vietnam War and the Kennedys and Martin Luther King and Kent State, and, I went through Mississippi and Alabama and all the stuff that we went through to kind of get to a place of, let's see what works best for all of us. And to see us reverting back to superstition, to anger, to bigotry. And I'm not talking white folk against black folk. I'm talking people against people. Personally, I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what dogma. I don't care what cult you're a part of. I don't. And it's all cults. I don't care what religion it is. I don't care what political party it is. It's all a cult, whether it's New Age spirituality or Buddhism, Hinduism, Protestantism, Catholicism, Judaism. It doesn't matter. Democrat, Republican, new, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're cults. And I'm going to tell you how you can tell if it's a cult. When they tell you what to think and how to believe and how to act and how to react and how you should be. Well, that's a cult, boys and girls. That's a cult. And we've all been up under this brain training, this mind washing since our conception. And it's been passed down genetically from parent to parent to parent to child to child to child for eons. And most people don't get it. I hear this big, there's an awakening taking place. Well, where? Yeah, people are more aware that life is hard, that groceries cost more, utilities are more expensive, we've got more homeless, we've got immigrants and migrants, and they're being separated from their kids, and we've got pedophile rings, and the UK voted to leave Brexit, and the government won't let them leave, and our president said no more wars, and I'll be John Brown if he's not bombing more countries more often than the presidents before him did. Yeah, people are more aware but they still won't let go of the dogma of I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat. I've got to have some political leader ahead of me, in front of me, to protect me, to lead me, to guide me, to make my life better. And it's never going to work. And I'll tell you one of the things I find disturbing. I saw someone on Facebook yesterday post something about what we need now is a French-style revolution. And I didn't say anything. I went, Donna, bite your chopping tongue. Because the person who posted that, I do have some respect for their political views. We don't agree on everything, but I do respect their political views. But I'm going to tell you something, boys and girls. If we actually do reach that point to where influencers, people who are doing podcasting, radios, live videos, are calling for violence, and in my mind, that is a call for violence. We reach that point. It is not going to bode well for any of us. We need to back this up before we get to that point. Now, I want to talk about censorship and self-censoring and Alex Jones and the coach Ron Paul. I personally, I don't like Alex Jones. I mean, I listen to him now and again. I listen to everybody from everywhere to see what people are thinking and what they're talking about. I used to enjoy Alex Jones a lot more before the Trump era. But once Trump got the nomination or was even considering running, it just became a Trump cheerleader camp. And that's all he talks about, is how everybody's after Trump and everybody's after him, and the horrible lefties and, you know, liberal libtards. And I don't find any meat in what he's saying. I just find a lot of accusation and a lot of leading people to feel angry and feel threatened. And I don't dig that, so, you know, I can't say I'm a fan. But he's got as much a right to say it as I've got not to say it and not to listen to it. And here's the big thing with censorship. I asked about an hour or so ago, I talked on Facebook, you know, is anybody starting to self-censor? And within 5 minutes of me posting that, someone posted, sadly, yes. You see, this is the point of all of this. And those of you who got mad with me when I was talking about Black Lives Matter and the Me Too movement, and how just accusations and just anger and just our emotions are being played, that there's something bigger behind it. Y'all got mad with me, and that's okay too. Some of you unfriended me. That's okay too. You know, it don't keep me up nights. I promise you it doesn't. But here we are now. And as some of you know, back 3 or 4 months ago, my YouTube that I had up for years and years and years, well over 1,000 videos, was taken down. I got a note one day, an email saying they were going to age my channel to where it had to be 18 and over, and I was cool with that. I don't care. I mean, I can't imagine 10-year-olds wanting to watch any of my videos anyway. I don't have cat videos or, you know, any of that. I don't do that. I talk self-empowerment, self-healing, and political insights. That's what I talk about. So I didn't care. Well, a couple of days later, 2 or 3 days later, I made a comment on another channel about Israel and how Israel's borders needed to be taken back to the original agreement. I mean, you know, if we're going to say Israel has a right to exist as a state, let's at least take them back to the original agreement. And another viewer of that channel immediately commented to me and said, you need to be real careful what you say Well, within 3 or 4 minutes after that, I got an email from YouTube saying that due to numerous severe violations, my channel had been suspended. Now, I emailed them back and asked why, and I got an email that said no longer were they going to allow CBD videos, and I had done several CBD review videos 2, 3, 4 years ago. I went and searched, and at the time that I searched, there were hundreds of thousands of CBD videos still on YouTube. So I made a little note in my email, if this is the problem, then why are all these other videos still up? But they refused to reinstate my channel and told me I was prohibited from starting another channel. Well, I did go start another channel. It's called Awaken Radio. I think I put up 3 or 4 videos. But I've reached the point where I really don't know that it's worth messing with videos and messing with podcasts. Because I'm of the opinion we've reached a point. If we've reached the point to where not only are we celebrating Alex Jones being banned, taken down from Apple, taken down from YouTube, taken down from Facebook. Whether we agree with him or not, it's not about agreeing with him. It's about, are we in America, and do Americans have freedom of speech? Do we have the right, legally protected right, to voice opinions that other people disagree with? Now, some of you may say, well, he's hateful. He rants, he raves, he calls names. Yeah, he does. And some of his display is unpleasant. But you know what? Nobody forces you to watch him. Nobody forces you to listen to him. And this is bigger than Alex Jones, and I've been saying that for the better several years. This is bigger than taking down Alex Jones. They took me down. What did I do? I don't cuss on air. I don't say racial things. I don't hate on people. They took me down. No real explanation. At best, I had those 2 strikes that I got a couple of days apart. But numerous severe violations that you don't even give me an opportunity to go into my channel to even see, huh? It's bigger than Alex Jones. It's bigger than me. What we are being entrained, brain trained, threatened, harassed, terrorized into doing is conforming. And anyone who does not conform, who does not applaud the official narrative, we're all going to find ourselves unwelcome on social network platforms. I got to go check my iTunes, make sure I'm still over there. And for the radio, I pay for my bandwidth. I pay a platform to host me, or to host my queue. I use their online software, and I pay for that every month. But what's to say that at some point, and they're in the UK, with UK's weird laws, if someone in the UK complains to them that this woman in America is saying things that are illegal here, who's to say that they're not going to tell this company, you can't provide her with a server, you can't provide her with bandwidth, you can't provide her with services to help her go live? Who's to say at some point? I mean, even Mike Adams, the health ranger, has come out with a new platform, Rio.video. And I did get a channel over there. I put up one video. I was not very impressed, honestly, with how few views that I got. So I don't know if I'm going to put any more over there or not. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do, if anything. It may just come down to what I'm doing right now. Every now and then, I make a video, and I strip the video out, take the audio and put it up, in an audio feed. I don't know. But even at Real Dot Video, they're having issues with people coming in because it's censorship free. As long as you don't threaten people, show violence, illegal activities. Well, what Mike's already witnessed are people coming in using grossly vulgar language in violation of their terms of service. And then people whine about it. And it's become a far-right cheerleading section where that's the only thought that's welcome there. Well, I'm not a right-winger. I'm not a left-winger. I'm not even a coffee or tea or libertarian winger. I'm a human being. I'm a human. I want what is best, what serves all life the best. And because of that, because I don't pick a side other than Alabama football, Roll Tide. That's the only side I pick is my football. But because I don't pick a side, I don't go rah, rah, rah Hillary or rah, rah, rah Donald Trump or rah, rah, rah far right, rah, rah, rah far left. I don't get a lot of listenership. I don't get a lot of views. Because the people who listen to me are not promoting what I'm doing. You're not sharing it. And I'm not whining. I'm just stating some facts. I've had this problem for the past several years with Awakened Radio, where I've begged people, you can't financially support it. That's cool. The best thing you can do is share the link. Tell your friends about it. Because if you want a more common sense approach to what's going on without me beating you up and cussing at you and whatever, then you're going to have to help me. Well, I finally just reached the point to where whatever, I moved, and it was easy to just not broadcast. But here we are. And some are celebrating Alex Jones being banned, not realizing that at some point, you will share or post something that a person, not just a bot, not just an algorithm bot, will find offensive, but some person will find offensive, and they will report you. And your Twitter or Facebook or YouTube throw you out. This is where we are. I was listening this morning to a guy talking about some of the Marxist, communist, fascists that are running for office in November. And a big portion of what used to be the Democratic Party, age 35 to 65, are supporting these candidates. And their click manifesto, if you will, is no police, no prisons, plus a lot of other really ignorant stuff. But people are not going and reading what is their manifesto. They're just listening to the rhetoric of the politicians. We're going to give you everything for free. Well, ain't nothing free. I mean, even air. The trees and plants have got to breathe in, if you will, what we're breathing out. And then they breathe out what we breathe in. So there ain't nothing free. There's an exchange in everything. You get free health care. Well, Somebody's tax dollars are paying for your health care. And I'm not against affordable and or free health care. I would like to see everybody paying in a certain set percent, including corporations. Everybody, no matter how rich you are, how poor you are, pay in a percent, a set percent that even the poorest among us can afford. And then everyone has equal access to common sense health care. And by that, I mean every time you sneeze, you don't run to a doctor. The health care would limit how many times you can go to the doctor for something you should have stayed home and taken care of yourself. You don't need to go to the emergency room or your doctor when you've got a cold. Okay? Every time your kid hiccups, just because you got a free office visit does not mean you need to go and run that child to the doctor's office. And if you do, because your child's got a cold and another child's in there with the flu, you're risking having your child, depending upon their immune level, infected with the flu, which is going to land them in the emergency room. But anyway, enough of that later. But we'll do that for another day. Back to censorship. If they can take me down, I was Alex Jones before Alex Jones was Alex Jones, meaning kicked off of a platform. If they can take me down for nothing, and they can take Alex Jones down because people don't like what he says and how he says it, what makes you think that at some point they're not going to shut you down? I was listening to something yesterday. One of the biggest ways to get not seen or banned, suspended from Facebook, is to talk about the dangers of vaccines. I mean, are we going to reach the point to where we can't really talk about anything that matters, anything that's important? We can't ask questions and have really in-depth discussions about big pharma, big chemical, big government, without risking being thrown off of the social platforms. But here's what's behind it, boys and girls. And I've been saying this. We have been trained by Black Lives Matters to think everybody white is a racist when it's not true. Me Too, that accusations equal guilt, into this mob agreement mentality. Anger, fear, mob agreement mentality. And here we are now. If you say something hateful, if you say something offensive, you don't deserve to say it. So those who are left online are now looking at taking the option of let me be very, very careful about what I say, because I don't want to lose my 5,000 Facebook friends. I don't want to lose my YouTube channel or my Twitter status. And here's the end picture. We were indoctrinated that if we didn't agree with Black Lives Matter, we were racist, bigots, white supremacist, white privileged, whatevers. If we didn't go along with Me Too, then we were women haters, we supported pedophilia, we supported rape. And here we are now. If you disagree with transgender, if you disagree with drag queens teaching kindergartners about gender options, then you're a homophobe. You can't say anything that you don't agree with. And a lot of people are refraining from stating their opinions. And I know quite a few because they send me private messages of things that they find interesting and they want me to post it. They don't want to post it on their timeline because they don't want the flack. I don't care about the flack. I'll post it if it's interesting. But see, the next step, and here's where we are right now, we're tattletelling on one another. I'm offended. I'm white, and I'm a woman, but they said something bad about a black transgendered individual, and I'm offended for them. So I'm going to report them as offensive and as hateful and as potentially violent, and I'm going to get them shut down. So we're tattletelling on one another. The big goal in this, after we make it through our tattletelling on one another, and we start refraining from speaking our minds, the big finished goal is we stop thinking it. We stop thinking differently. Not only do we not say it anymore, we don't publicly say anything that's controversial, but we become so brain trained that we don't dare even think it. And at that point, if we get to that point, boys and girls, life and humanity as we've known it is done. It's done. You remember the Hunger Games? We sit and we watch movies like the Hunger Games, where only the very special people that live inside the big city get all the money and all the food and all the beautiful housing and all the crazed entertainment, and all the peons live out in the middle of nowhere where they get a little food allotment. Excuse me. That is never enough to keep them from being hungry. But hunting and fishing is prohibited, and if you get caught, you get killed. You know, I think back to the Middle Ages, when all the land was owned by the clique elite, the kings, the lords, the ladies, and going onto someone else's land, which all the land was owned by the elite, and poaching something to eat got you killed. Is this where we're headed? Are we actually devolving back to the Dark Ages, where we don't own anything, we don't stand for one another, we don't support one another? I hope not. I'd love to hear from you. Are you self-censoring? What do you think about it? I love you. Peace.